we understand basics of photosynthesis. See, photosynthesis, we understand now that it occurs in autotrophic organisms, right? Other than plants, who can do photosynthesis?
Yeah.
Who can do? Who can do? Other than plants, which
Yeah.
other organisms can do
Some
photosynthesis?
bacteria can do it.
Your
Or
voice
like
keeps breaking. What? What?
algae,
Algae, very good. And
like some bacteria.
cyanobacteria, right? There's a particular group of bacteria called as cyanobacteria because they have the chlorophyll. They are called as blue-green bacteria also. Okay. So they can do photosynthesis, right? So basic reaction is very simple. The light is getting trapped and we are converting it into complex organic compound, right? We are converting CO2. Now CO2 is a simple inorganic compound. So these are the words that need to come in the answer, right? We are changing inorganic compound to organic compound. Which is that organic compound?
Um, like glucose.
Glucose, right? We are converting it into complex compound, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Now we can't do this, of course, because we don't have the pigment for it, right? And this is the key compound because this is where all the energy is stored, right? So respiration, if you look at, then it is the complete opposite. Photosynthesis will be accompanied by respiration, right? The
Yeah.
reactants of photosynthesis will become the products, vice versa. It reverses, the equation reverses, right? Wherever you
Yeah.
don't understand, I want you to stop me and ask me, talk to me. Okay.
Okay.
So one problem that I see a lot of people face is the coenzymes which come, right? You have to remember one thing that the coenzyme which is used in photosynthesis is always NADP, right?
Yeah.
And in case of respiration, it is NAD, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of mix up with this, I see. How to remember it? Remember P for photosynthesis. So NADP will always come only in photosynthesis, not in respiration,
Yeah.
right? Clear so far?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So one of the basic questions which always pops up is the difference between photosynthesis, aerobic, anaerobic respiration, right? So this is usually how many marks? This is 6 mark question, right? I'll just tell you how to frame this question. So if you're asked to differentiate between photosynthesis, respiration, anaerobic respiration, how would you put an answer? This is generally a 6 marker, as we said, right? Let us start. Let us start putting it.
Um,
What is the basic difference? Come on, it should get difficult after one or two. First few should be very easy now.
respiration has like NADP. No, I mean photosynthesis is NADP, respiration is NADPH.
Okay. No, let's start with the basics now. Photosynthesis occurs where?
Oh, thingy, what's it called? The matrix.
In which organisms?
Oh, what?
Photosynthesis occurs in plants, right? Not in animals, in cyanobacteria, and then in algae, as we said, right? Respiration will be all organisms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about anaerobic respiration?
Animals.
Animals, what is
Yeah.
made?
Lactic acid and
Lactic
uh,
acid is made in muscles, right? And ethanol is made during fermentation. So it occurs in animals, then fungi, right?
yeah.
Yeast is a fungus where we make ethanol and CO2, right? And in plants as well. Okay, so that can be our first difference. Okay, second difference. So remember, I said 6 marks. So 6 points have to come in, right? Good 6 points. Okay, then
First it has photosynthesis happens in the chloroplast while respiration happens in the mitochondria.
okay, we could take that. But then it is a similar point. I would want better stuff.
Oh, so like the
In terms of energy, can you give me in terms of energy, what happens where?
Photosynthesis it involves like light energy and has to be converted to chemical energy.
So it stores energy. That's the correct way of putting it, right? It stores energy. Respiration releases. Anaerobic respiration also releases, right? So in terms of energy, these should be your key factors. Okay, so 2 points done. Okay, third point would be what is the energy conversion, right? So as you said, here we are going from light energy to
Chemical.
chemical energy. Very good. What about the other one? Respiration.
It's like chemical energy to like mechanical, I think. I'm not sure.
Chemical to, you can say, a more accessible form of chemical energy, right? Because chemical energy is also used in a lot of cases. So we are just making chemical more accessible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about anaerobic?
It's
Same
like
story.
chemical.
Same
Yeah.
story. You're making chemical more accessible, right? Okay. One more thing that we can definitely talk about is whether they are anabolic or catabolic. Photosynthesis is which type of reaction?
It's anabolic.
Anabolic, very nice. Respiration?
Catabolic.
Catabolic, very good. What about anaerobic respiration?
It's catabolic as well.
Catabolic, very nice. So you get 4 points, 4 marks, I mean, if you write this much, right? You should have this order in your head. This question comes, this has to be my points, okay? What
Yeah.
can be another very good point? Maybe we can put in the equations, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me the equation for photosynthesis.
6H2O plus 6CO2 equals 6C6H12O6 plus 6O2.
Correct. What about aerobic respiration?
I'm not really sure about that one.
You can give the word one. See, unless they are not asking you specific things, don't give them specific things. Okay. So you can even write the word equation. So in respiration, you can write your basic equation. You can say glucose plus oxygen gives CO2 plus water. Reverse the photosynthesis.
Oh
Reverse
yeah.
the photosynthesis, right? That's it. That is anaerobic. Sorry, that is aerobic. What about anaerobic?
It's like C6H12O6. No. It's like something to do with like ethanol and lactic acid.
What did I tell you? Give word. If you are not sure of chemical, don't worry. They are not asking you. Is the question asking give chemical equation? We don't have to make ourselves more complicated. Keep it as simple as possible. So give a word equation. Glucose is converted into, in muscles, what happens?
Lactic acid
Very
plus
good. That's it. That's it. That's it. No. Glucose to lactate. In your muscles, it's glucose to lactate. Okay.
yeah.
What about yeast?
Yeast is like glucose to ethanol.
Ethanol and carbon dioxide, right?
Oh,
So that is why we use yeast for brewing, making ethanol, and we use it to make the bread fluffy, right? Because of CO2, the gas is released, so it makes the bread fluffy, right?
Yeah.
Then last point, very important point, we could talk about ATP, right? We could talk about ATP, which is produced by photophosphorylation. Phosphorylation is basically adding a phosphate.
Yeah.
Okay. Photo means we are using light. So that is why it is called photophosphorylation. Okay.
Yeah.
So here in photosynthesis, we are making ATP. We are storing energy. So of course, we are making ATPs, right? We understand now ATP is the energy currency of a cell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What happens in respiration?
It's like 4 ATP is made in glycolysis, and then
So there are two types. The phosphorylation is different, is what I want you to understand. Here it is photophosphorylation.
yeah.
In respiration, it is substrate level. Substrate level, right? As well as oxidative.
Yeah, oxidative.
Okay, these two. In anaerobic, it is substrate level only. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the way you write answers. Okay. One more tip I'll give you. What else can be done? So what else can be done is this. See, long answers are anyways difficult for not only you, for anybody to write. Okay. So if
Yeah.
you know this answer and if you already done the marking scheme, which hopefully you will be at that stage, right? So you remember it like this, occurs in, just write scribble the words on the right side of the page, right? If it's a really long answer, because OCR, they'll even ask you essay 9 markers, 8 markers. So then as soon as you're using that word, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off, do it with a pen.